So in order for our culture to grow, we need to be able to put to bed some of these false narratives that have dominated the conversation within our culture so that we can begin to focus on topics that are more relevant to the core issues. And so what I'd like to do is to be able to put to bed this notion that black men somehow prefer women of other races over black women. Now, we can find great spouses in all races of people, but what is important is that we begin to dismantle and diffuse any dialogue that suggests or asserts that black women are somehow less desirable candidates. The reality is there are roughly 4 million married black men who have black wives, and less than 1 million married black men who have wives of other races. Moreover, I think it's time we begin to put to rest this notion that successful black men prefer women of other races, so that we can begin to engage in topics that are more germane to our healing process. The more important thing we need to focus on is the fact that black men rarely get married at all. Oftentimes because they are not prepared emotionally and financially to head a household. And so what we need to do is spend all of our energy getting them prepared to be reintegrated back into our family structure.
You know, the topic that really should be at the center of our focus as a collective group is what is fundamentally required to operate inside the context of a functional adult relationship. Because in order for us to become a more educated, financially empowered group, we will have to begin to recapture our ability to team up and function well together on an individual level as men and women inside the context of a functional family unit, right? And so once we are able to do that, what we will begin to see is the larger body of black people functioning and behaving in a more cohesive manner.
And so what every relationship absolutely must have, right, aside from love and physical attraction, is a healthy pipeline of communication, right? What a healthy communication pipeline allows you to do is navigate any of the issues or problems that might arise in your relationship, right? And no matter how much you love or are attracted to someone, if you don't have a healthy way of communicating with your partner that's free of anger and resentment, what ends up happening typically is small issues turn into huge arguments. Oftentimes it feels like you're in a relationship with someone who's never wrong, and eventually your relationship dies, right? And so a healthy pipeline of communication can only exist with two people who are able to execute three fundamental principles, right? The ability to self-examine, the ability to take ownership, and the ability to validate their partner verbally, right? And now, self-examination is super critical in your relationship on a lot of different levels, right? But with regards to communication within your relationship, self-examination is key, because what it does is it allows you to sort through your emotions and get in touch with how you're truly feeling, so that you can communicate how you're feeling with your partner so that you can get your needs met. Now, the ability to self-examine oftentimes makes you the type of person who is more likely to take ownership. And taking ownership is important because it opens the door for you to begin to see your partner's point of view. Also, it's the point in time where you become aware of areas of your life where you may need to grow. Now, the ability to validate your partner verbally is really crucial, because it lets your partner know that you respect how they feel. It lets them know that you have empathy and compassion for them and their point of view, right? And so moving forward, in order for our relationships, our love relationships as black men and women to grow, what we need to do is to begin to practice the behavior of establishing a solid pipeline of communication early on in our relationships. One that is respectful and free of anger and resentment.